for me, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect from a guy like T. Higgins, I would say, this year, especially
Yeah.
with it being a weird contract year. So I wonder, uh, I really do wonder, who are you guys expecting to step up into that role? I can't say with confidence right now that I'm like, okay, T. Higgins is go hung. He's going to 100% step in. He's going to be great for the Bengals, be that true number two that we're looking for. But so who are you guys looking for the Bengals to step up, consistently and help out and emerge in that role? I know we have our thoughts. I know we've talked at length about who that could potentially be, but I want to hear from you guys as we're starting to get. Before we're like, oh, it's early in this football season, blah, 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 blah. But now we're really starting to get into the thick of things. We're about to get into the mandatory mini camp and all that kind of stuff like that. And we're gonna have some questions to answer very, very soon. But who are you guys expecting to step up as another weapon? We already know what we're expecting from Jamar Chase, but who else are you guys looking at?
I mean, definitely you're looking at that rotation of Burton, Charlie Jones, and Yoshivas, and we know that Yoshi kind of came onto the scene last year, and going into the year, I think it was fair to expect that Charlie Jones might get a little bit more run with
Yeah.
Jamar and T kind of manning the outside positions pretty consistently. Um, and it was nice to see when Yoshi was running around out there, especially in the red zone, doing the scramble drill there against Arizona, catching that touchdown in the back of the end zone. It was nice to see him feel that space and that leverage and kind of have that understanding and be on the same page with Joe Burrow. Hopefully they can continue to build on that relationship, especially if, God forbid, T or Jamar were to miss any time. But instead of having to put Trent Irwin out there and hope for the best, now you can rely a little bit more on some of these guys that you feel like have more opportunity to reach a higher floor, a higher
Yeah.
level of production than you could get from an aging Trent Irwin. And that's not to, besmirch his name at all. It's just to accentuate the excitement we have for some of these guys who are coming into their second year, have been working hard in the offseason. And I think you're going to see a lot of these guys kind of rotating in. Um, Last year they kept, I can't remember if it was 7 or 6 wide receivers. I think it was because they got rid of Stanley Morgan, right?
Yeah.
And that was
Probably.
when everybody thought he was going to stick around. I thought he was going to stick around
Yeah.
for special teams. But yeah, I think that Charlie, Yoshivas, and Burton are all going to be very much kind of sharing that
Mhm.
wide receiver 3 role, though they'll play different roles just in terms of snaps. But yeah, obviously they're going to have to help out a lot. And obviously Gasecki too. If you're talking about like Joe Burrow was talking about in the other day in the press conference, how they want to dictate more of what the defensive line's like and what they look like. Running out there in 12 personnel is a great way to do that and force them to kind of be off kilter a little bit, maybe be unexpected, and then have to try and adapt to you in a limited amount of time before the snap, right? So that's one way that they could do it. All these kind of back end offensive weapons. It's obviously easy for me to say the defensive weapons, like the secondary. I'd love to see some, whether that's Dax Hill, whether that's Josh Newton, just something to make me feel a little bit better because I'm very optimistic about the depth behind the wide receivers. But spots like corner, obviously defensive tackle, it'd be really like just a breath of fresh air for them to get one guy who can just really give you 500 good snaps at either of those positions.
Yeah,
100%.
I think in the receiver room, I'm kind of looking forward to it just because we kind of the league has kind of gone to the running back by committee approach and
Mhm.
using the running backs to their strengths. But I think the Bengals can really do that with the receiver room this year. We have a bunch
Right.
of different kind of guys with different kind of styles that can succeed in a number of different ways. Whether T's here healthy or not, you still have the abilities, you still have the down the field, you still have the jump ball, you still have the slot, you have
Mhm.
all things covered. And just when you have that, you can get more creative, you can get more diverse, you can create different looks, you can, create different route combos and schemes and everything that goes with it without, kind of being too predictable. And I think that's the fun thing about having all these options at receiver and being so deep in a room and so talented. And that's why that stuff is so valuable. I don't really know like if who would truly step up and be the two and lead in, I guess, in snap percentage per se. But I think they're all going to be productive. When you can play players to their strengths, you're going to see them thrive. And whether that's their 5 snaps a game, whether that's 20 snaps a game for one guy, or whether it's, matchup dependent, whatever it is, when you have confidence and having just to throw anybody out there, whatever role they're good things are going to come. Obviously, if they're going to play off a chase, obviously, they're going to put the ball in Joe's hands. So, as of right now, I'm pretty confident in everybody in that receiver room. There's not
Mhm.
anybody that I'm like, man, I don't really. I don't really want to
take it on the field. You're not like, oh man, here we go.
Yeah, so I think that's
so
that's
you're
a good thing.
you're confident in Kwame Lassiter.
Well, yeah, sure, but I don't really think he's gonna be on the
You're confident
field.
in Shedrick Jackson?
Stop.
Bo Jackson blood, baby.
Hell yeah. You know why? Because he's got the intangibles. He's got the intangibles.
He's got the NFL bloodline.
He's got the NFL bloodline.
Yeah.
He's got the it factor, the thing that makes me excited. No, but in all seriousness, guys, do us a favor, give this video a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on post notifications so you guys don't miss when we go live.